Before Blazes, I was in Dunbarton on Channel 4 one day, checking out whatever little shops were up, and on the corner over here, there was a shop that somebody had put up. They had put up a shop where they were selling score scrolls that they made. And this was before they had the Bard bulletin board, so people had to like physically either make them or they had to like go find MML code online to copy paste. And the person that was running it, their name was Hime. And Hime, they kept putting scores in the shop, and as they were putting them in there, I kept buying them. And they're like, please, I can't keep it full. I was like, that's the point. I must buy them all. And I spent a lot of time just hanging out with Hime. Hime would play a lot of different music while they had their shop open, and it would attract different people to come buy scores. And I had a lot of fun just hanging out with them, playing different music. And it was, just another day that I made another friend, but that day turned into a few days, and then it turned into a couple weeks. And eventually, Hime had asked if I wanted to join their guild. And I was real hesitant because of my history with joining groups at the time is kind of messy, or it always ended kind of messy. So I was kind of hesitant about joining their group, joining their guild. But they were very understanding, and they said, you can leave whenever you want. You can join whenever you want, and you can leave whenever you want. And I remember I joined Musubi for a little while, and every now and then I wasn't sure if I was going to stay, so I would leave, and then I would come back. And I think I only did it like twice. But really nice, really kind people. Hime had told me that they were preparing to go to college or to the Navy, and that they'd be gone for a while. And I was like, okay, well, I'll be here whenever you come back. So they left, and I didn't see them on Mabby for like a year or two. And in that time that they were gone, I met this other player. We'll call them Valk, or Valkyrie. And it was, just another player I bumped into. And I bumped into her, I think, while like shopping in Dunbarton one day. It's just a casual bump in. But I would always see her, like, whenever you're looking at your friends list, you can see if somebody's like in their homestead. I think I can't quite remember, but I remember that they had a thing next to their name that was always kind of vague about what they were trying to say. Every day I would get on, and I would see them logged on, but they weren't anywhere. They were always in their homestead. And, after a day or two, it's like, oh, whatever. They're just hanging out in their homestead. And then a week goes by, and then another week goes by, and then it was a month had gone by. And I was like, okay, why is this person always hanging out in their homestead? And I went in one day, and I found them hanging out on the moon that you can get for your homestead. And I asked them, I was like, why are you hanging out in your homestead every day? Wouldn't you rather be out talking to people or playing the game? And they told me that they were waiting for somebody that might not come back online. It was a guy that they liked. And it really struck a chord with me because I hadn't seen Kai or Snow for a while. And I had been kind of waiting for Hime to come back online because it was somebody that I had a lot of fun hanging out with. And I remember that struck a pretty big chord with me at the time. And, I hung out with Valk a couple times. And then over the course of the next few months, they stopped coming online. I think it was about 8.5 months later, Hime actually finally came back. But, they didn't quite remember who I was. I think a lot of school had changed them, or Their time in the Navy or wherever they had gone had changed them quite a bit. And change isn't a bad thing, but I remember it kind of sucked because it's like, my friend changed and they don't remember me. But then Kai came back, and he started the guild Blazes, and things changed for the better. But it's just one of those things that you never really forget about.